I was asked recently what one of the favourite plants in my garden is, and I had to say it's the bamboo. I just love it. We planted this before we moved into our home. It's about 5 years ago now, and it's just fabulous. It looks so good, it sounds so good when the wind blows, and the birds love it. When we moved here and as we were building the house, we started working on the gardens. Someone had given us about 100 plants of bamboo. They were not very big, they were skinny little things, but they were rooted in bags and ready to go into the ground, so we needed to plant them. So we didn't give them any special attention. We popped them in the ground, and 5 years later they're just thriving. I've now counted over 120 new shoots that have come up. Some of those in the last 6 weeks have grown taller than our existing bamboo, taller than the tallest ones from last year. During the rainy season, bamboo just grows like crazy. Here's a new shoot that is probably about 10 days, maybe 2 weeks old. It's already taller than I am. And here we've got a new shoot that's maybe a couple of days old, and as you can see, it's pretty big and fat already. These are the ones, maybe when it's a little bit bigger than this, you can eat these. And even here I've noticed this little shoot coming off the side of this piece that's been cut. I cut some a while ago because I've learned that the best time to cut it when it's mature is at the beginning of the rainy season. Here's another big healthy clump that is growing really well. You can see the new growth has still got the outer, it's like a bark on it that is a sort of a brown colour, and these peel off as the plant gets taller. So there's quite a few of those in this clump, and I've already cut a number of them because they're lovely big straight pieces, and there's still new shoots in this lot coming through really nicely, so I'm very happy about this. When we planted it, we were really busy with the house and everything else, so we didn't pay much attention to it. And there's a few gaps. Most of it grew pretty well, but there's a couple of bigger gaps and some smaller ones, and I'm just kind of keen to get those filled in and just to see what I can do experimenting with propagating bamboo. I've been checking out a few different ways to propagate bamboo, and I'm going to try one method today that I found that looks like it's quite easy. Let's give it a try. There are a couple of pieces here that I've cut, must be a year or two ago now, that have got nice branches sprouting out of the side of them, and so we're going to come in and work on that joint there to cut it and then wrap it, and hopefully we'll see some root growth come in about a week or so. I'm making a cut about halfway through this offshoot branch, and I'll take off these couple of little short pieces as well to make it easier to wrap. I'm going to wrap that joint that I've cut with some mulch from at the base of the bamboo plant. It's just mulch down bamboo leaves and nice rich soil. Some people say to use peat moss. I haven't got any, so I'm just going to use what's there naturally, and I'm going to wrap it using a discarded face mask because it's quite handy and I think it'll fit well. So I've got a nice handful of that in the face mask, and I'm just going to wrap it round and see if I can get this to look at that. I think there's a design for it. Tie it on there nice tight. The soil and the leaf mulch is quite wet. It's quite not too wet, but just moist to keep a bit of life in there. And I'll just tie it on there nice and securely, and they tell me that in about 7 days we should see some root growth starting to happen in there, and at that point we can cut the section off and plant it into a rooting bag and leave it there for another 30 days or so before we go and plant it in one of the gaps. So that's an interesting little experiment. I'll be keen to see how it works and be sure to keep you updated on how it grows. But I'm going to try a couple of other methods of propagating bamboo just to see how easy it is, because this plant just loves to grow.